What's going on, everybody? It's Full-Time Trip. We back at it again. Arsenal 0, Newcastle United 2 at the Emirates Stadium for the Carabao Cup semi-final. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm keeping this short and sweet. This ain't gonna be a long video. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna be real. I had some good dinner. I sat down and I just had a nice calm time after this game. I'm gonna be real. Like, there's not much to gather. Well, there is a lot to gather, but there isn't much to really like pinpoint and oh, this, that, and the third, and kind of go down to the minutia detail. Today's not one of those days. Today is not one of those days. I'm gonna be very, very clear and frank. This is an unserious institution if we do not sign forwards this January window. I will be serious. We're gonna be so honest. With the level of extenuating injuries, the extenuating circumstances of injury that have impacted this side, with the realization of the lack of ruthlessness that has been at the core of Arteta's cries for about 2 years now. Every Arsenal fan out there, there's cries for the past 2 seasons. Again, I'll put a video in the description about an old video I talked about star power and ruthlessness, or I think it was a separate video, but still, we've been at this conversation for a couple of years now. True ruthless efficiency when the game may or may not be going our way, but chances may be flowing. Even if it's a half chance, somebody is going to consistently tuck those away and open the game up or close the game out, whatever we need it to do. The only one person we got a ruptured ass hamstring and is sitting at home. Get well soon, Bukayo. We need clinical, ruthless attackers. That is the beginning and end of the major analysis points for this game. How many times the performance was not bad. The performance was not bad. Unlike the Brighton performance, where I thought we were a lot more open and definitely more flat across the 90 than I think we were in certain points throughout most of this game. Bar probably the last 20 minutes, we were just out of ideas. But if this is not a clear sign, if Arteta's comments after the game lauding Alexander Isak about that's what a quality forward gets you, if those aren't clear signs that we need attacking firepower, then the powers that be are just, I'm sorry, it's just gross incompetence, gross negligence at this point. To be real, keep it a stack. I cannot, I wouldn't sit here in my right mind and say, again, I know we have our prime targets that we're nailed on to get or nailed on, but nothing is guaranteed in this life, and damn sure isn't in football. So if there isn't you know what I'm saying, your perfect options, there are things you can force the issue on. Again, certain people will release clauses, certain things. I know wage structures might not be the ideal, but the talent is there. I'm tired of playing, you know what I'm saying, like a wage structure accountant. I'm tired of playing, again, Monopoly and getting down to the minutia detail over these bags, bro. If they have the space and allocation to, and it's a one good signing, or say a one decent move or opening, we should take it, because right now we look lost in the attack. And I've had this conversation at a macro level. We have built every other facet of our play to be absolute world beaters. Again, barring injury, barring all that other stuff, we have built this team to be absolute world beaters when it counts, when it matters. But the thing that is consistently evaded us are the forwards that can finish off and absolutely kill any chances that we create. Somebody to finish dinner and finish the plate. We haven't had that since Aubameyang. Aubameyang was saying, oh man, like, oh, he said, listen, what striker, they asked him, what striker do you think would be perfect you know, for Arsenal scoring right now? He said, me. At this rate, you know what I'm saying? Like, is he about to come back on loan? I'm bugging, but still, like, it's gotten to this point where it's just untenable. Trossard does not look like he has any clue what's going on. Again, he's on the right hand side this time, which again, he might do better in long term, but just didn't look like it today. Martinelli's having good runs and good movement, but can't finish, can't hit the side of a barn door at this rate. And that was bread and butter, bro. He was actually being aggressive. He was getting some joy over the top and through the lines, and he was getting sent through. Frustrating. Havertz, we're not gonna talk about that Havertz chance. We're not gonna talk about that one. But you know, like, listen, this comes down to we need that attacking now, especially with our only consistent ruthless finisher, Saka, not here. We need that. This is something we need. We're 8 days in to the new year, and if this board is not as alert and as alarm bells ringing as we are in this moment, that's a problem. If they're gonna let Arteta, and if Arteta's content just as much as they're gonna let him be stranded with that same squad and that same period and piece of attackers, that same contingent of attackers, if they're gonna lie in that bed, if the board's gonna allow him to lie in that bed and Arteta's comfortable with lying in that bed, that says something about where we stand. Are we just gonna let seasons pass by? Again, circumstance has come so far. There is a lot of circumstance that people like to deny, and there's a certain context that people like to admit, and which I don't like. But there is certain accountabilities that on the other end we have to make sure people are aware of, and to some degree we may not know all the details, we may not know this, that, and the third, but bro, it's come down to that. The display I saw today in front of goal, it was toothless, absolutely toothless. Just your grandmama at Thanksgiving when it's time to eat, you know what I'm saying? She ain't even use the teeth, bro. She just flew that to the side, suck herself off the bone. No teeth. No, I am not baffled. I'm just mad that this is a reoccurrence so much at this point, man. Again, we've built every other phase of this team to be very, very good, but when there's no proper attackers, no proper ball carriers to start transitions and carry transitions through, when there's no proper finishers that either aren't available or aren't consistent enough to be deemed as such, there's problems, and we're always going to dig ourselves in a hole trying to play how we play because there aren't enough people who did what Isak did today. By himself be a nuisance, by himself be a threat starter, by himself be a finisher, a magic maker, you know what I'm saying? Be at the right place at the right time. If there's a lapse in defense, somebody's gonna be there to pounce, and you best believe they're gonna bury it. And if they're not at the right moment, they're gonna create the moment themselves. One wild shot off the left, Raya saves, Gordon's right there for the pickup. If there aren't people to have nous and have initiative to, again, make something happen in front of goal, what are we doing? Why are they here? I'm gonna be honest, there's a point where ruthlessness has to come into question holistically. Who needs to get moved out of the way for the next level, for the right levels, for the completion of this squad to be in full effect? And if that has to be done, that has to be done. But in the short run, there's got to be something, because that attacking display was absolutely toothless. It was just weak. That was a weak performance, and I feel like we just ran out of ideas, bro. Seeing Jorginho have to be the one to take things to the opposition and stuff. I don't know if it's fitness or whatever, but seeing Jorginho do that and other players on the pitch today just looked like they were passengers, ghosts, hiding away. That didn't look good. That didn't look good to me. Didn't like that one bit, honestly. It's such a reoccurrence that it's just so baffling to me every time I see it, because I'm like, bro, the same. I feel like I gotta have a rewatch of every 91 goal, every goal of the 91 goals we scored last season. I think I have to look at it, because I'm like, bro, how are some of these things? The only people I was seeing really were taking shots, Declan Rice and what, maybe Havertz at some point, some pop shots, but some of the clear chances that he had, he should have buried. There were 3 clear-cut chances that we should have had. Buried. XG, buried, whatever. And I don't want to be on the shoulda, coulda, woulda business, but like, bro, if the game plan's out there and you're creating enough, who's finishing enough? Who's the one putting it to bed? And that's where the question lies. You can only do so much. Pep said it himself. I can coach everything up to you in the final third. What you doing there, that's what you decide, to the players. He said that directly. I can make everything happen. I can do my best to set up everything around up until the final third. And then that's you. That's what you do. To me, it's a chunk of this has to be on the players. A chunk of everybody is to blame. Again, long-term, short-term, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Everybody has to take accountability in this sense. But the biggest culprits, a part of the same group that scored 91 goals, what happened to the simplicity? What happened to some of the inventiveness? What happened to the bite, the aggression? What happened? Or was it ever really even there? Without Saka, I couldn't tell. Sign a forward. That's really all I gotta say about that. We've dug ourselves in a real hole going to St. James's Park in the second half of this tie, without a doubt. But you know, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But this was a shameful performance today, I think, and solely for the fact that we have run across this point over and over again. I feel like I'm knocking my head into the same wall over and over again. It wasn't shameful overall, but that attacking display made this whole thing shameful, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, it overshadowed everything else, and it's bad. Like, again, Newcastle's first goal comes from a defensive lapse. Just everybody was just blank, and it came against the run of play. We should have been 2-0 up at that point. So you're just like, damn, that's a gut punch, but we keep moving and stuff. And the second goal is just a pick up after something that they created. You know what I'm saying? A shot in the box or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it moves. They didn't do anything special outside of that, bruh. Isak was fantastic, bro. Wearing number 14, doing that at the Emirates. I mean, listen, he was man of the match, clearly, and he only played 60 minutes. Didn't even break no sweat, came right off. He's like, bro, they're not scoring again. We'll be all right. Where's the danger? Where's the bite? Where is the ruthlessness in front of goal? That's what it is. Outside of that, I will say, big ups to Declan Rice. I think he was probably one of our best players, if not our best player today. And big ups to Myles Lewis-Skelly. That guy's a grown-ass man. He plays well beyond his years. The nous, the physicality, the guile to get out of certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Just to wriggle through, turn players, and just go forward. He's an absolute gem. Please take care of him. Do not mess him up, please. We already seen one person go down due to injury and stuff. I'm glad we have left backs, you know what I'm saying, back in contention and back available. So we need to make sure that rotation is healthy to not mess up his you know what I'm saying, overall momentum. But Myles Lewis-Skelly, what a player, man. What an absolute player. And I'm glad he's been a true bright spot in what's been a dark period so far. I wish it could have been the same for Ethan, but again, the injury is going to knock some wind out of his sails, unfortunately. That attack, man. That attack is something diabolical, and Saka's months away, if at all, this season. He might not even get risk this season. We're in for a very, very rough January, as it is, without a player signing. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to go through these 9 games, and I doubt you know, the club will even emergency play somebody this fast or try and go in for somebody this quickly. 4-play FC has got to end, man. It's got to end if we need somewhere. No matter what, City always has somebody that can turn the tide with something. As bad as they've been, Haaland still is there. Haaland still is a threat and presence. Liverpool have built in several people who can finish a goal. Can any of our attackers that were on the pitch today do what Gakpo did at United, at the United game at Anfield? They drew the game, cool, whatever. But can they do that? Can they take a moment in the box and make magic? Qualities in both boxes. Arteta's been saying this for years. And if any of you think that he is just automatically okay with this group of players after consistently saying, we need X factor, we need quality in both boxes, we need to, you know, create moments, we need to create magic. If you think he is comfortable after saying that for years, for several seasons now, and being linked with attacker after attacker after attacker after attacker, something's on you, because you're not seeing the signs right now. You're not reading between the lines. So make it at what you will. All I will say is that attacking performance and the attacking performance in January, it's going to be a scary time. It's going to be a scary, scary time, but we got to keep going through it. I got to keep going. Got to keep holding it down, because that's the only thing I know how to do, bruh. Let's hope the form improves, especially in front of goal. But let me know what you thought about the match. Let me know what you thought about, again, how things went. Do we stand a chance in the second half at St. James's Park? Our potential signings, if they're even going to make any signings, the possibility of even doing anything in the window. Let me know in the comment section below. And with that being said, I have been Full-Time Trip. That is my time for today, and we are out of here. COYG. Peace.